Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about your hopes and your dreams, your goals and your aspirations in life. Who do you want to be? In fact, think with me right now. Close your eyes. As a child, who did you want to be? President? Astronaut? A ballerina? A fireman? You can open them. So I'll tell you, I, as a child, actually did know what I wanted to be when I grew up. I knew definitively at about the age of 4, because I came from a broken home that was always in turmoil, always in argument. So as a child, I decided that when I grew up, I wanted to be a husband, and I wanted to be a father, and I wanted to be a good one, not like what I had, sadly. Fast forward 20 years, May 27th, 2001. It's my first wedding anniversary. We're staying at the same hotel, Dallas, Texas. We may have even had the same room. We got everything ready. We went to a great dinner that evening, and we're so excited to celebrate our wedding anniversary. And we decided to watch a movie in the room, Family Man with Nicolas Cage. Didn't think much of it, but sometime during the movie, something snapped. And when I say something snapped, I mean something snapped. And the evening ended with Catherine laying on the bed crying and me holding on to the front door about to walk out on our marriage. Because I was so broken. And all she could say is, "What did I do wrong?" And I couldn't answer her. But what I can tell you now is that she didn't do anything wrong. It was me. I couldn't believe that anybody could possibly love me. See, I'd seen for generations and generations and generations, everybody had been divorced in my family. For every generation that I could see. I was the first one to not be pregnant in high school. I was the first one to go to college. And even though I didn't believe that I was the same, in my core, I couldn't believe that I could be loved. In fact, when I would think about it and say, people would talk about, well, you deserve, I would go, I know what I deserve. And it ain't good, because I know what I've done. See, that's the retribution that I found in life, that fear, that anger that drove me was retribution, paying the sentence of the crimes that you've done. But fortunately, I had a friend a few years later, after Catherine had proven that I couldn't chase her off no matter what I did, fortunately. She's a saint. I had a friend love me enough to take me to lunch, and he said, "Eric, I'm worried about you," because I was depressed. And I don't mean a little depressed. I mean, I was hopeless, and it was all dark, every direction, up, down, left, right. And he says, "I'm worried about you, buddy." And I said, "I'm worried too." And he says, "Let me ask you a question." I said, "Sure." He says, "What's the greatest commandment in the Bible?" And I go, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, and your mind." He's like, "Good." I was like, "Well, we playing Sunday school, what, Mark?" He's like, "Let me ask you another question. What's the second greatest commandment?" And I'm like, "What are we doing here?" He's like, "Eric, answer the question, buddy. Love your neighbor as yourself." He's like, "Right, you got it right." Most people say love your neighbor, but the actual Bible says love your neighbor as yourself. He said, "Buddy, let me ask you a third question. How well are you loving yourself?" And I just started to weep. I just started to weep because I was like, "Mark, I don't love myself at all. There's nothing left for me. I don't have anything left." And he's like, "I know. But see, if you're going to love your neighbor as yourself, you can't love your neighbor any more than you love yourself. See, you think you're loving your family, you think you're loving your friends and your clients by giving everything you got. But when there's nothing left, you're really not able to love them. So how well are you really loving them?" And I guess I'm not. See, in an airplane, they'll tell you, in case of emergency, put your mask on first and then help those, because you can't help them if you're dead. You can't help them if everything's falling apart. And that's where I started my journey of redemption that day, is that learning that it's okay to believe in me. It's okay to invest in yourself. It's okay to love yourself because you're worthy and you're worth investing in. And when I started to receive that and just receive the fact that it's okay, you don't have to believe that you can. Just, is it possible? Is it possible that you're worth loving? Would you possibly, maybe, potentially consider that maybe you're worth loving and investing in? And from there, I started to believe. I started to believe that I was worthy. And that's where the revelation hit. See, when you start to believe that you're worthy of love, that you're worthy of respect, that you're worthy of investing in, then the revelations start to hit, where you're like, you know what? I am worth this. See, that's where you go, if I'm a doctor, right? We got a whole room of doctors here at Cambridge, right? All of my friends. If I'm a doctor, why am I still requiring myself to take minimum wage? You put in all this time, why would you get minimum wage if you're a doctor? It doesn't make sense. And yet we do that to ourselves emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. And I'm worthy of happiness. You're worthy of happiness. The next thing I did is I decided, you know what? I'm done compromising. I've wasted so much of my life compromising on crap. We've got all this stuff that we don't need. We're so busy impressing the people we don't like with money we don't have, right? Buying stuff we don't need. And I was like, I don't want to compromise. And that cleared out so much waste in my life because I finally started asking, and this is where the revelation hit. I finally started asking the most simple question you can ever ask yourself, and it's the hardest question you'll ever ask yourself. What do I want? What do you want? It's so simple. Yet if we'll slow down and take the time to ask ourselves that question, it'll change everything. It eliminates 99% of the crap in our life because we go, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't want that. No, I want that. I want that. I want her. I want him. I want that job. I want that career. I want to live there. I want to go there. I don't need any of this stuff in between because it doesn't fit. That's what life is about. Leroy Washington said, sometimes you have to let somebody else's belief in you stick around until your belief kicks in. So as we're at Cambridge, as we're here with all the celebrities, with all the people that have changed the world, like Alan Turing, that created the Enigma machine, that ended World War II, like Oppenheimer, right, who created the atomic bomb. All these people that have changed the world. See, mistakes don't define me, they refine me. So what I want to tell you today is that there's hope, that you're worthy of love, that you are enough, that you are loved, that you are forgiven, that you are awesome, that you are special, and there's greatness in you. My friend, it's time. It's time to stand up, to be a dream chaser and a world changer because you are worthy.